Welcome back to another episode of Roughing with the Sappers. Today we have the opportunity to review and listen to an actual advanced pregame that Chris, we did a game together and you wore my microphone set so we got the field audio. Unfortunately, this game ended up not being interesting really enough for us to do an entire game review on. But I did really like your pregame.
Oh, thank you.
And I know we've done a breakdown of my own pregame and probably it's advanced enough I should do another one, but yours is quite a bit more advanced than mine that you've developed over time and doing stuff at the college level. So I thought it was really good, very interesting. Like to show that to our viewers. Maybe they can pick up some tips and tricks like I did. Now the camera doesn't really pan much while we're on here, so it'll just be boys warming up here in the background. But yeah, we'll go ahead and break that down. So
fantastic. Thank you, Scott, for the opportunity. Appreciate this opportunity to allow others to learn from the bumps and bruises and scars that I've gotten, such that they can avoid getting that pain, having those pains, and excel in their careers. All right, gentlemen, it's not your first rodeo. You guys know the deal. Offside is the decision I can make with the least credibility out here. That's where you guys come in. When you guys make your offside calls, I'm here to make you look good while you're doing it. If you can help me with balls in and out of play and fouls while you're helping me with offside, that'd be great. However, don't sacrifice offside to get a ball in and out of play or a foul while sacrificing the offside line. All right, and that's super helpful in that's the reason that we have assistant referees, those center referees. They're there to help us out where we don't have really any credibility. We can call the ball in and out of play. We can call fouls. However, offside is a rough one for us to call on our own. I would prefer to have the first foul of the match. However, if somebody absolutely positively gets murdered in front of you, please go ahead and raise your flag, wave it around, let the spectators and coaches know that you're still paying attention, and then adjust your foul selection to match mine. The players and the coaches and the spectators look to the center referee to set the bar for the fouls. That's why I prefer to have the first one. However, if there's an obvious foul in front of the assistant referee, please go ahead and call it, and then go ahead and match your foul selection to look like what I'm calling out on the field as the game progresses. If we are attacking down your sideline and you've got a close offside decision, give up the foul, give up the touch line. I'll take both of those. Focus on that offside. That is if you've got a potential offside. If the defender's running back and the nearest attacker's 5 yards in front of them, go ahead and try and assist as best you can with fouls and ball in and out of play. Difficult to run down the sideline this way, looking at the offside line that way, checking for the foul behind and the touch line 180 degrees from the way you're running. Impossible.
I think the key part for me there is if you have to make a choice between watching the in and out line and watching the offside line, watch the offside line.
Absolutely. Balls over the touch line. I'm going to do what I can to let you know which way I'm thinking with the hand separated from my body. If you could separate a flag from your body, let me know what you're thinking. If we match, we'll go with it. If we don't match, let me know what I missed, because it's probably on me. If there's something I saw that I don't think you saw, a real quick contact before the ball went out of play, I'm going to go straight to the whistle, hit it twice, and signal before you have an opportunity to cross me up. Just go with me on those. Some of the worst ways in which spectators and coaches become involved in matches is if the center referee signals this way and the assistant referee is signaling that way. And so that's what I attempted to quash here, is that I'll separate my arm from my body if we're going left, and if the assistant referee is similarly signaling we're going left, we'll just go with it. And if not, then I've probably missed something because I'm out patrolling the whole pitch and the assistant referee likely saw something, and if we're going that way, then we're going that way. There's no need for me to second guess the assistant referee. That, and if I see something really quick, hammer the whistle, let everybody know you saw something, signal before you have the opportunity to be crossed up, and be done with it.
I often, to that end, when I'm working with newer refs, I will often tell them, like, look, it's not even as important that we get the throw-in direction correct as it is that we signal together. Because then you show that you'll get a lot more buy-in. We really get in trouble when one signaling one direction, the other one signaling the other, and then you start to lose the confidence.
Absolutely. If you see contact and you'd like a foul, or make sure that I'm not in an incredible spot to be making that decision, I'm far away or I'm shielded or something of that nature. If I am in a credible position and I did see the contact and I don't want it, I'm going to hit a helicopter, do something involuntary to let everybody know, yeah, I saw it and I don't want it. If you still want that foul when I'm in the helicopter, be 100,000% sure, sell it to your grandmother that that was a foul, and then we'll just go with it. If you'd like a yellow card to go with any foul that you call, hand over the badge. If it might be the player's second caution of the match, I'd like the latitude from you all to go ahead and potentially not give it if I can personality my way through it. However, if it's stone cold caution, we're going with it. Double caution red, and we'll be done. Regarding disciplinary cards and their use and fouls of that nature, the assistant referees need to understand that sometimes center referees see some stuff that we really don't want. We don't think that it has a part as a foul in our game. And so that's why I do the helicopter, is if I see it and a spectator or a coach or a substitute might think that it's a foul, I'll do something involuntary so that they know that, yeah, I saw it and don't want it. However, if the game is a game of angles, and if the assistant referee has something and I'm still helicoptering, we'll go with it, because obviously there was something there. Regarding cautions, the first one's free. First one's always free. Use it. That's what I talked about there. Hand over the badge, we'll go with it. Yellow. If it's the player's second, you heard me ask for some grace from the assistant referees, and that's simply so that you don't think that I'm dismissing you in giving that yellow. If I can reason my way through it, personality, give a butt chewing, then I'll go ahead and do it. However, as you heard me say, if it's a stone cold caution, we go with it. Done. End of story.
I think one of the big takeaways there, particularly for maybe if you're a newer ref watching this, to your point, the first one's free. Like, the first caution is a message that you need to adjust your behavior, but I think a lot of newer refs aren't willing to give that. They want to hold back that first caution, and when I found that it's helped my game if I go to cautions sooner in order to gain match control. But what you're touching on here is that second caution, there can be a higher threshold. If you can manage through it, it's a major game changer to also send a player. So
absolutely,
I think, finding that balance of both and keeping track of in your mind who are the players on cautions,
yes,
so that you can both give those first cautions when you need it for match control and at a lower threshold.
Absolutely.
But you're also prepared to give the second one.
Yes.
But you don't want to already have the second one out and then have to put it away.
A double clutch on a second yellow is a good way to have everybody all over your back. The best caution is the right first caution. The worst caution is the wrong first caution. And what does that look like? Well, it's you, your personality, where you set the bar, and things of that nature. So I encourage you all to find what looks like a caution to you and use it every time. Ball's over the end line. If I'm facing you as the assistant referee, I signal goal kick with my left hand. So if I'm facing you, I'm thinking goal kick. If you're thinking goal kick too, start slowing up around the top of the 6 and just go ahead and give that goal kick signal. If you've got corner kick in that situation when I'm facing you, if you've got corner kick, hammer it into the flag and give me just the little corner kick signal. I'll figure it out. When I'm thinking corner kick as the ball is going over the end line, I'll be square to the goal. If you've got corner kick, just go ahead and take it down to the flag and go with it. If you've got a goal kick, start slowing up around the 6 and I'll go, oh, missed something, and I will turn myself so I can signal with that left hand. Regarding a ball over the end line, it's one of those instances in which referees and assistant referees can get their signals crossed up. And so I'd like to head that off at the pass to let the assistant referees know that if we've got a goal kick, it's with my left hand, and I'm going to be facing you, square to you, so that I can always keep you in my view. I don't regularly signal goal kick with my right hand, generally not, almost never, because that would have my back to you. And so that's why I give this guidance here. And when I'm signaling corner kick, the shoulders are square to the goal line, and signaling corner kick. And I let the assistant referee know how to help me out if we've got differing opinions in both directions. Mass confrontation, I'm going to do what I can to separate the first 2 or 3. Anything more than that, I'm leaving also. Write down who did what, who came from where, and who came the furthest. They get to go away the fastest. Pay particular attention to players, the 3rd and 4th players into that fracas, because those guys are the ones throwing gasoline on the fire. Those will be cautions. All right, mass confrontation. I've found that when I don't address it, is when I experience it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we're going to do. NFHS rules say that any player that leaves the bench to participate in a mass confrontation must be ejected. And so the assistant referees should understand that their first order of business when there is a mass confrontation is to keep their bench at home. At the high school level, you've got U19 players who could be playing with U15 or U16 players. Those are situations that we don't see in the club game. Right. And so we could have a freshman and a senior going at it, having an interaction that goes unfavorably for one or both. And so we need to be acutely aware of that, particularly at the high school level, so that we can get in the middle of it and step on it, squash it, put water on the flames. I've got a whistle that I carry with me as a center referee that I call my fight breaking up whistle. It's a whistle that hurts my ears. I don't like blowing it. Don't get in fights, please. And then particularly the players that are escalating things need to be cautioned. We didn't need that. If you had stayed away, we might not have had a mass confrontation.
Mm. You know, it's interesting. I didn't used to incorporate mass confrontations in my game. Some because they're so rare. It's like, well, what are the odds? The problem is that when they do happen, if you're not on the same page about how to handle it. In fact, if you're a fan of this channel and you've watched a lot of our episodes, you probably think mass confrontations happen more often than they actually do. Now, some of that is a factor of, it's really the most interesting games that end up on the channel. They seem like, if all you see is this channel, that they happen a lot more. But they're really very rare.
They are pretty rare.
But they're also, like, if you don't get them right, and I've had some game reviews that if you go back and watch them, you see what happens when you don't really know how to handle a mass confrontation. Yeah. So I think it's really nice that you incorporate that. And I've started actually incorporating that into my pre-games as well.
Top of mind awareness. If we talk about it frequently enough, it will become second nature. This is in all of my pre-games. Questions for me?
If we need to get your attention because you missed something, do you prefer
my name?
Okay.
My name, and then ref, and then the spectators after about the third one will also assist you. And then the coaches also. If these guys cross me up, let's say I'm in this corner, and they 3-touch and go in the other direction on your line, you've got all those pulls and tugs and stuff, because I'm never going to be able to get in behind and see the space between those players. So make those calls and we'll go with you.
That's one that I often ask if it's not addressed in a pregame is how to get your attention.
Yep.
Because some refs don't want you to use their name, right? They just don't want it to be public information. I tell my assistant referees to yell flag, because flag is something that almost nobody yells, right?
Fair.
There's there's names that could be yelled. There's refs, obviously, but flag is an unusual thing for people to say. But some people prefer their name. Some people prefer other means of notification. And
my name is my name. It's on the driver's license. It's on the assignment, the match assignment. The athletic directors can get it and pass it to the coaches. It's what I'm called. And if the coach knows my name, then it's really difficult for me to become ref or just another guy. I'm Chris. I learned both coaches' names so that I can address them directly during the match and not, hey, coach, because it's really easy to otherize somebody else and treat them poorly. It's really difficult to treat a person poorly when you know their name. Thank you for that opportunity. That's what it looks like pretty much game to game. There may be little idiosyncratic things that I experienced in the game prior that I might speak a bit more about in the subsequent games. However, that's usually what it looks like.
Well, idiosyncratic's a $10 word.
Yes, it is.
Something Katie would say.
Yeah, right.
But Chris, really appreciate you sharing that with us. Hopefully, as viewers pick something out of this. I know I definitely picked some things up that I've incorporated. Awesome. And thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Join us back here for our next upload. I'm Scott.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you out on the pitch.